Hi everyone, hi again. Anyway, as you can see, we've made some improvements to the background here in the Crichton Studios. Claire says it requires depth of shot, and as usual, she's absolutely spot on. So I thought I would tell you all a little bit about our weekend in Dorset. We had a really nice walk on the beach, and I had my Crocs on, which is brilliant for putting your feet in the sea, but it's rubbish for walking on a stony beach, as every fourth or fifth step my shoes were just full of stones, and every step was an agony. So I was reminded of the Little Mermaid story, if you're all familiar with that, where the mermaid falls in love with a prince who lives on land, and so in order to be with him, she makes a bargain with a sea witch to trade in her fishtail for a pair of human legs, and presumably she gets all the other bits and pieces as well. But there is a catch in that every step she takes, it feels like she's walking on the very sharpest of knives, which was exactly the feeling that I had yesterday. So, spookily enough, the beach where we were walking is in a place called Burton Bradstock, and it has a local legend that in about the 1750s, during a terrible storm, a creature was washed up on the beach, and everybody thought it was a mermaid because they believed in mythical creatures in those days. But nevertheless, there hasn't actually been a credible explanation, other than people assume that it was quite probably an animal, and there are lots of cows that graze on the edge of the cliff that could feasibly have fallen in and got all bleached and bloated and then washed up. But not an immediate physiological link, if you think about it, between a cow and a mermaid, unless it was a sort of Shelley Winters from the Poseidon Adventure style mermaid. If you remember, she was a very good swimmer, and she was very large, and that combination of things didn't actually end too well for her, for those of you who've seen the movie. Anyway, we came back in the car earlier today, and on the radio they were talking about it's 60 years since the Queen's coronation, and Nicholas Witchell, the BBC's royal correspondent, came on, which made us boo and hiss at the radio, because we don't like him because he grappled with and sat on a lesbian in the late 1980s, when they stormed the 6 o'clock news to protest about Section 28. And Sue Lawley says, I do apologise for the background noise. We have rather been invaded by some lesbians whom we hope to be removing very shortly. So anyway, Nicholas was on because they wheeled out one of the Queen's old ladies in waiting, and I thought, oh my gosh, one of those really ancient old aristocrats with about 5 surnames who talks like that and says, well, really the pageantry was absolutely extraordinary. And then she came on and she said, well, Her Majesty's dress in the pageantry really was extraordinary. So there you go, just handy to know that if called upon, I can speak the language of the old lady in waiting. So anyway, I hope your weekends have been as action-packed and as stimulating as mine. Let me know if I should do more of these, less of these, none of these, different ones, and have a good Monday. All right.